Lesson 6 has two parts. The first part is on adding one-digit numbers, and then the second part is on practicing the addition algorithm. This lesson starts on page 20. Now let's think of a simple addition problem. 3 plus 4 equals 7. Now the different parts to that, the different numbers, have special names. The two numbers that you added together, the 3 and the 4, those are called addends, and so those are always the numbers like on the left side of the equal sign. The numbers that you add together, those are always called the addends. And then the result of addition, you call that the sum. That's a special name you give to a number that is the result of addition, the sum. Let's practice adding some numbers together. Let's add, when we do these, we'll have more than just two numbers to add. We'll have like 3 or 4 numbers to add together. Look at practice problem A, 6 plus 3 plus 4. Now, in their lesson, they tell you to look for numbers that you can add together that may add up to 10, because sometimes that's easier to think of a pair of numbers that add up to 10, and look for that first, and then that will make the problem a little simpler. You can do that, or you can add in pairs going left to right. If you're really good at adding, I think it's easier just to work the problem reading it left to right, adding in pairs. Now I'm going to assume that you're pretty good at addition, and so you don't need to add and find another number to add to it that would equal 10. Let's just use the method where we go left to right and add in pairs. And so if you're not very good at addition yet, you need to practice that and get better at it. Make sure you're doing those facts practice tests, and make sure you're timing yourself and try to improve your time every single time you do one. So 6 plus 3 plus 4, what we'll do there is work left to right adding in pairs. And so 6 plus 3 is 9. And so we know what that is, and then we need to add the 4 still. We haven't added that to the rest of the problem. 9 plus 4 is 13. And so that's our answer. And so, do you see kind of how we did that? We combined the 6 and the 3 there, and that equaled 9. And then we brought down the plus 4 part, and then added the 9 and the 4 to get 13. Let me just do this just so you can see. If you wanted to add up to get tens, find a couple of numbers that added up to 10, you could have added the 6 and the 4 first, and that would have equaled 10, and then add the 3 to that. 10 plus 3 is 13. One thing to keep in mind here, these two different ways we did this addition problem, the order that you add in does not matter. We could have added from right to left. Normally you just look at it just like you read a book. You go from left to right. But keep that in mind. The order that you add numbers together in, that does not matter. Let's do another one. 2 plus 7 plus 3. Let's just go left to right adding in pairs. 2 plus 7 is 9. Plus 3, that would equal 12. So when you have more than two numbers to add together, work in pairs, moving from left to right. Let's do one more. This one has 4 numbers in the problem. So again, just add in pairs, working from left to right. Add the 8 and the 2 together, that would be 10. And then add the 9 and the 6 together, that would equal 15. And now add the 10 and the 15, and that would be 25. Now also notice something else. We're working these problems vertically. We're moving down our paper. I think that's the best way to do these addition problems. Instead of writing over here to the right 10 plus 15, I think it's better to do it vertically, because that helps you keep the problem lined up, and you can easily see, oh, I added the 8 and the 2, that's how I got the 10. I added the 9 and the 6, that's how I got that 15 there. So when you're doing these addition problems, work them vertically on your paper. Now let's go to the second part of this lesson on practicing the addition algorithm. Now there's a big word, algorithm. Maybe you've never heard of an algorithm before. An easy way to think of what an algorithm means is just steps for solving a problem. Like when you're adding two numbers together, there are certain steps that you want to do to solve that problem. Like in the first part of this lesson, we were adding single-digit numbers together, and we had some steps that we did. We added in pairs, working from left to right to solve those addition problems. Now, one of the most important and most commonly used mathematical operations that you'll use for the rest of your life is addition. So it's really important to understand the addition algorithm. So let's go ahead and do some practice problems. These problems deal with money because it's just kind of easier to think of money sometimes when you're learning how to do addition. If you want to, get your little fake pieces of paper money out, and that might help you think about some of these problems. So what we do here is we add the individual digits together in each column. Remember, we have place value. We have a 5 in the 45. That's in the ones place. The 7 in the 87 is in the ones place. So we add the place values together. So what we do first is add 5 and 7. Now 5 and 7 is 12. And so that's 110 and 2 ones, right? 110 and 2 ones is the easiest way of thinking of 12. Like if we wanted to give somebody $12, the easiest way to do that with the least number of bills would be a $10 bill and 2 $1 bills. We wouldn't want to give them 12 $1 bills if we could avoid that. Now, one thing to keep in mind, I know you might be thinking about, well, where does the $5 bill fit in place value? We don't really use the $5 bill when we're talking about place value, so don't worry about the $5 bill right now or the $20 bill. Just the only dollar bills we're concerned with are the ones, the tens, and the $100 bills right now. So what we do then, we add that 5 and 7 and get 12. We still have the ones place right here, and it's right below that, so we put a 2 there because we'll keep 2 there, and then we need to give one $10 bill to the tens place, and so we put a little 1 up above. Now we add 1, 4, and 8. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 8 is 13. And so we put a 3 down here, and now if we had a hundreds place, like in one of our money amounts there that we're adding, then we'd add that 1 up there. But we don't have one, so we just write it down here and we're done. $132. That's what 45 plus 87 is. Let's do another problem. Let's add $115 and $289 together. Okay? So we just do this column by column. We add the 5 and the 9. That would be $14. So we would have 110 and 4 ones. So we keep the 4 in the ones place, and we give one $10 bill to the tens place. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 8 is 10. So just think of the number 10. In the ones place, there's a 0 there. The 0 goes down here, and we bring that 1 up to the hundreds column. Let me tell you something. What we need to think of here when we're adding the 1, and the 8 together, that's really in the tens place. So we're really kind of adding 10, 10, and 80. So 20 plus 80 is 100. And so that's why that 1 goes to the next column. It goes to the hundreds column. And then we add 1, 1, and 2. See, we're in the hundreds column now, so we're adding 100, 100, and 200. That's 400. And so that 4 in 400 goes into the fours, or into the hundreds place. And we end up with $404. So something to think about there and consider. When we added the 5 and the 9, we got 14. We left the 4 in the ones place and put the 1 in 14 in the tens place. And we're really saying 10, aren't we? But we just don't worry about the 0. And then we're adding the numbers in the tens place. So we're really adding 10, 10, and 80 together, if you want to think about it that way. And that would add up to 100. And so that 1 that's left over, we put that over in the hundreds place. Add that to 1 and 2, and we get 400. So something to think about here, if you wanted to break it up into $100 bills, $10 bills, and $1 bills, when we add 115 and 289, The least number of bills that we could get as a result would be 4 $100 bills, no $10 bills, and 4 $1 bills. And see, that equals 404. Now let's do an addition problem where we don't have dollars. So just think about this, pretend like it's dollars if you want to. Let's go ahead and do our algorithm. Our addition algorithm, the steps for solving this problem are to add in columns, add the 9 and the 3 first, the ones place, and so 9 plus 3 is 12. We bring the 2 down here and we bring that 1 from the 12, that goes in the tens column because that's representing a 10. Now we take that and add it to the 5, so that would be 6. 6 plus 9 is 15. And so we have a 1 that goes into the hundreds column. 6 plus 1 is 7. 752. Let's do one more problem. 339 plus 933. Add in columns starting with the ones column. 9 plus 3 is 12. So we bring a 2 down and the 10 goes to the next column. The 1 from the 10 goes to the next column. 1 plus 3 is 4. Plus 3 is 7. And so we don't bring anything to the hundreds column with that. 3 plus 9 is 12. And then we don't have anything in the next place, which would be the thousands. So we just write 12 down here and we're done. 1,272. Let's do one more. This one has 3 numbers in it, so this will be a little more complex, but we follow our same steps in our algorithm. We add up the columns. If we have a 1 to add to the next column, then we just do that. So let's look at the ones column here. 1, 8, and 9. 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 plus 9 is 18. And so we put an 8 in the ones column, carry a 1 to the tens column. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 plus 2 is 7. 7 plus 1 is 8. We don't have anything to bring to the hundreds column, so we just add those numbers up. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 5 is 8. 888. Now, if you ever get confused on adding and you can't just look at that and add them together, like maybe that second column, you had 4 numbers to add together, just go ahead and rewrite it. 1 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1. And add in pairs. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 2 plus 1, that's 3, that equals 8. And then go ahead and continue on, because it might help you to just write that out separately and look at it for a little while longer. So the best way to understand the addition algorithm is to practice, to do lots of problems. Do the facts practice at the beginning of the lessons whenever there's an addition facts practice. The better you get that down now, the easier it will be later for you in higher math classes and for just the rest of your life. Okay, well that's all for lesson 6.